Before I even step outside, people already have a judgment based on what I look like, right? Whether it be the color of my skin or the size of my body is politicized, especially when we talk about in farming. So here we're gonna talk about farming while being black and fat and why this is important. This video is brought to you by HelloFresh. I'm kidding, it's not, it's just me. We're gonna be talking about fat people farming, come on. I carry a lot out here. Hay bales, feed bags, a whole history of judgment. People assume farming looks like lean white men on tractors, an old McDonald. But I've built something with this body every day, and I've built something that matters. Black bodies were used to build this country's agriculture and erased from the history. Fat bodies are told they can't move, they can't labor, they can't care, but I do. Farming in this body is a refusal. Some days I feel it all, back pain, judgment, fatigue. But I also feel kind of free. This land doesn't really care about my weight. These animals don't judge my body. I know that I'm safe and I show up and that I care and that I'm capable. It might take me a little bit longer. I might be doing things a little bit differently. But that does not mean that I'm incapable of hard things. I'm farming while black, I'm farming while fat, I'm farming while free. And there's no fat phobia, there's no racism that is going to change that. I'm not going anywhere. Farming is not about conquering land, it's about a relationship. My body may not be fast, but I'm consistent. Softness is a tool, slowness is a strategy. Every day I show up in this body and I prove them wrong and I get shit done. There's fat phobia in farming. There's fat phobia in the farming industry. And by definition, fat oppression, also known as fat phobia, refers to the systematic discrimination and unfair treatment of fat people in everyday life. And how fat phobia shows up for me in farming is not only how I'm treated in spaces, but it's also how I allow the lack of representation in those spaces makes me treat myself, right? And we call that internalized fat phobia. And I believe that these societal messages that being fat is undesirable, that I don't deserve to be able to do these things, to have access to these things, to be capable of these things, that I need to just concentrate on losing weight and it doesn't matter if I'm anxious or depressed I deserve nothing. And to combat that every single day is difficult. Something simple as like how to set up your garden beds and the measurements don't fit the measurements to where your fat body will be able to fit through. And you think something's wrong with you when you just gotta make a little bit more adjustments. People always want to say, Amber, how are you farming in this kind of body, in this bigger body, in this blacker body, with these nails? How are you doing this? Girl, I'm doing it just like everybody else, right? But you have to think about things that make things a little bit easier for you, such as those little grabber things that you might be able to use if you have some mobility issues, right? Those little things that you can kneel on, but also you can sit on while you're gardening to not put so much pressure on your knees. When you are gardening and you're making your rows of crop, make them a little bit wider so your body has room to be able to move around, right? You have to think about what your body's capable of, but also you get stronger, right? You're lifting things, you're wrestling goats, you're doing all that kind of stuff, right? And anybody can do this, right? With a little bit of help, with a little bit of trial and error, you got this, and it shouldn't stop you from being able to do what you have to do. I want to show other black people and other fat people that y'all can show up in farming, that this is important for you to show up in farming. Black farmers and farm workers come in all shapes and sizes and abilities. And we have to make sure that we're uplifting this and showing people that we can do this.